Are you interested in buying the Nintendo Switch? Have no idea what it's all about? Want to know more about it? Or just an eager fan wanting to know how much you actually know about it so you can brag to your friends and feel so entitled with how much of a Nintendo super fan you are? This is the video for you.
I get those goosebumps every time. I need the Heimlich, throw that to the side. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah.
My name's Nico Me, and you're watching 25 facts about the Nintendo Switch that you didn't know, or some facts that you think will be really interesting, that will really intrigue you. How many facts do you know? Comment down below how many of the 25 that you knew in the comment section below. So, starting off, in the first month, it sold 2.74 million copies of the Nintendo Switch, despite being sold out almost everywhere after the first few days, even the first day with all the pre-order. This is a great amount. It's the best launch for any of the Nintendo consoles since the Wii. It's doing fantastic. Number 2, the best-selling console ever since release. So every single month since the Nintendo Switch's release, it has been the best-selling console of that month. Beating out the PS4, the Xbox One, it is selling amazingly compared to its rivals and competitors. Currently, the Nintendo Switch has the number 4, number 5, and number 1 best rated game of the year. Those games being Shovel Knight Shadows of Torment, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and of course, Breath of the Wild. So the Nintendo Switch has tons and tons of acclaimed games that really you can't find anywhere else on any other systems. The battery life ranges from in between 3 to 6 hours, depending on how you use it. A more intense game like Breath of the Wild, very visually aesthetic, very strong, very actiony, will be a lot more consuming of your battery, while being on the settings mode will only take a little bit of your required Switch power. Next, it's the 4th cheapest console released with inflation adjusted, so it is very cheap at launch. People were complaining about the price, saying it should have been $250, $200 even, but this is actually a very cheap home console. Yes, it is a hybrid console that is part handheld, but it is a home console. So it is the 4th cheapest with inflation adjusted. So it's very cheap. It could have been $400 and it would have been the same as the PS4 or Xbox One. Yes, those are bigger and better with hardware, but just for the surface level, it is the 4th cheapest console released with inflation adjusted. The Switch is the first system to ever be a hybrid home and handheld console. You can take it on the go, you can play it at home. Predicted sales from Nintendo have jumped from the 10 million this fiscal year to 18 million. The sales have been hugely escalated with the huge hype and good word of the Nintendo Switch. The attachment rate for Breath of the Wild and the Switch was more than 1-to-1, meaning everyone who bought a Switch also had Breath of the Wild. There were more people who bought the Breath of the Wild version of Switch than actually bought the Switch. As you can see, people who bought the Switch basically instantly bought Breath of the Wild. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for Switch was the biggest debut in franchise history. It outsold every other Mario Kart game in its first week than any other Mario Kart game. It has 32 gigabytes of data. More Joy-Con colors are coming. Pink and green are coming out this month. Yellow, gray, red, and blue are out now, and Nintendo is making more and more colors, so you can customize your Nintendo Switch to the greatest extent. You can customize it with grips and other customizations using types of different sites. There are tons of grips at your local GameStop, Target, as well as kind of off-brand type stuff that actually look really cool. You can buy Galaxy themes on eBay. There's tons and tons of customization. 13, there's no region lock, so you can play games from any region, which is very nice. If you want to buy a game from Japan that isn't out in the US, go ahead. It charges with the USB-C cable, so if you have another one of those cables, go ahead and use it. Parental controls. Is it just for parents? You can check your playtime in it too, and you can check monthly reports. So if you see the parental control feature on your Switch or on the App Store, still go ahead and buy it. It's not just for parents to restrict their kids. You can see how many times you played a game in a month, what your top games are, playtime. It's just really fun playtime hours. It's a great tool to see how much you've played your Nintendo Switch, since it's not on the console necessarily. Because after a week of playing a game, it will show you the rounded number of how many hours you played it. So, after playing Breath of the Wild for a week, I had 25 hours on Breath of the Wild. It rounds to the nearest 5 hours. You can go and check on your system, and you will check and see how many hours you played your game after a week of playing them. It's a very cool tool. Currently, it does not have Netflix and YouTube, but they are working on it. Nintendo Switch has themes, something that the 3DS had, but the Wii U had not had. So it's very, very cool that you can customize. Right now, it's only black and white, but we can assume that there are more and more coming. There are more and more themes to come. You can customize your Miis in great new ways, i.e. coloring hair. You can color all types of facial hair on your Miis. You can only have yellow, orange, black, and brownish. You can have a blue hair. You can have pink hair. You can have all types of hair. Woo! Breath of the Wild is tied for the highest rated game of the millennium. It is very, 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 very likely it will win Game of the Year for 2017, and it is doing amazing with the critics. So, where can you get a Breath of the Wild? Only on the Switch and Wii U, but I don't think you're going to be buying a Wii U in 2017. So buy your Nintendo Switch to buy the best rated game of the millennium. Reggie has hinted at a Mother 3 release for the Switch. It will be ported for America. He hinted toward it greatly, so hopefully we will get that. A new Metroid title is coming, along with Kirby, Xenoblade, and Yoshi. Kimishima didn't want to create the next 3DS or Wii U successor. He wanted a new system experience. He's the new president of Nintendo. He wanted to compare the 3DS and Wii U, and was like, no, we're not just going to make the next 3DS or the next Wii U. We're going to make a brand new experience, and they sure did. Kimishima also wanted the 3DS and Switch to coexist, labeling the 3DS as an entry level for younger audiences while also ending production of the Wii U. So the 3DS is looking for a more younger audience of kids. You can buy a 3DS and then eventually the parents will be like, oh wow, it's time for you to buy a Switch now. Woo! Finally, major publishers such as Activision, Bethesda, Electronic Arts, Sega, Square Enix, Take-Two, and Ubisoft are all supporting the Nintendo Switch, and more publishers are joining by the day. So how many of these Nintendo facts did you actually know? Comment down below and have a nice discussion with your peers. How many people knew every single one of these facts? Well, if this video gets 50 likes, I will be making 50 Nintendo Switch facts coming soon. So, until then, switch it up, folks. If you don't buy a Nintendo Switch right now, what's wrong with you? Go and try to find a Nintendo Switch. Go to your local Target, GameStop, Best Buy. Hound people down for the Nintendo Switch. There are more and more Nintendo Switches coming to stores near you. Once Splatoon 2 comes out, Nintendo has released that. That can be a fact. Go check out your local stores for Nintendo Switch and subscribe to NicoMe for more Nintendo Switch and Nintendo content. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video. Goodbye.